all kinds of optimism about the Patriots this year. Mainly around New England, but definitely some national pundits who loved their draft. They love Mike Vrabel. They love Drake May. There are reasons to be optimistic around this Patriots team. I think some people have gone a little overboard. Again, I'm not seeing 11, 12 wins or anything like that. But 2 years ago, we were touting this as the best division in football in the AFC East. That cratered pretty quickly, right? The Dolphins have been massively inconsistent. The Jets have continued to be consistent, and that is not a good thing for them. And it's really been Buffalo and everybody else because the Patriots have sucked big time, right? They've been terrible the last 2 years. So it's been Buffalo, 50 feet of crap, and everything else in the AFC East. And it looks like that probably is what it's going to be like in 2025 as well. I expect Buffalo to win this fairly comfortably, except for when you take some other things about the other teams into account. Vegas has the Dolphins still as the second best team in the AFC East with a plus 200 odds to win this thing and an over-under of 8.5 wins. And I've been saying recently, like, hey, maybe we should take a deeper look at the Dolphins a little bit. And NFL insider, Boston guy, Patriots guy, Albert Breer was on the morning show for 98.5. I believe this was this morning, talking about why we should maybe curb the expectations for the Dolphins a little bit and what he's seeing and not a lot of other people are.
Are they looking to win this year?
I think they're like quietly rebuilding.
Okay.
I think they're quietly resetting their roster. The scary thing to me about this, so like Teron Armstead was their left tackle the last couple of years. They're going to be now relying. He retired. They're going to be relying on a second round pick from a year ago. It's kind of a scary thing. And Patrick Paul, Tyreek Hill. I think Tyreek Hill can be had. If you came to them with a first or a second round pick, I think you could probably get him. Jalen Ramsey's going to be moved. They're older in a lot of different positions. Like I think this is the beginning of a subtle reset. That the tough thing I think for them is now it's like you're going to maybe find out if Tua can actually carry a team. And I'm not sure that he can.
Things not looking too sunny in Miami. Not literally, of course. But it's not looking too great for the Dolphins. And I've been saying this on the show for the last couple of weeks. And I don't tout myself as this all NFL expert. I pretty much parse every single move the Patriots make. But to me, Miami is no sure shot at 8.5 wins. First off, he mentions there Tua. Can Tua carry a team? I don't think he can either. I don't think he's proven anything to show that he can carry a team. We had similar questions about Josh Allen going into last year, not as glaring, I don't think, and Josh Allen did pretty well for himself. Miami, the other thing is, if Tua can carry a team or not, Tua does not play a full season. He never does, okay? Never. And when you start taking these weapons out of his arsenal, taking these tools out of his tool belt, it doesn't really make for the Mike McDaniel style of football. And the Dolphins really have not achieved shit in this run. They've been one of the most disappointing teams in football, I would say, the last 3-4 seasons for the expectations they've had, the talent they've had on that roster. It has not come together. The only time they look really good is when they're playing the Patriots. And so if Miami is taking a step back, if they're doing a subtle rebuild here, then who's to say the Patriots can't make a run at this thing? This thing being the AFC East, this thing being the postseason. Because when I said earlier it was Buffalo and 50 feet of crap and then everybody else, that's a little tongue-in-cheek. It was Buffalo, 20 feet of crap, Miami, 30 more feet of crap, and then the Jets and the Patriots. But now that gap, that is much slimmer, okay? Like the Patriots, I think, even with their moves this year, and maybe the talent might be better with the Jets, I think the Patriots are a better team than the Jets. I think they're going to have a better season than the Jets do. I do. I don't have any hope in the Justin Fields thing anymore. Again, I know they have a lot of talent around the quarterback position, but they had it last year too. And they had a better quarterback than Justin Fields, and they won 5 games, whatever it was. They sucked. They were awful. And so I don't think first-year Aaron Glenn is piecing that thing together with basically running back the talent that they had last year. The Patriots also have a first-year head coach, also had a bad year last year, but they're not running it back. They went out and spent money in free agency. They had a good draft. They've got a much more comfortable quarterback situation than I think the Jets have in New York. So I'm putting the Jets last. And if this truly does become a bit of a rebuild for Miami, with the schedule the Patriots are playing, would it stun anybody if they finish behind them, if they finish behind the Patriots? Like, truly, like, let's parse the schedule here. The Patriots, the Dolphins also play the NFC South, but the Patriots play the worst division in the NFC, and they play a last place schedule in the AFC. The Dolphins play a second place schedule. That's going to lead to some exposure. They're going to face some playoff teams that the Patriots aren't facing, and they're going to be facing some teams hungry to make the playoffs after finishing in second in their division last year that the Patriots will not be facing. So that's why the odds are still pretty funny to me. So the Bills are the odds-on favorites, plus 125. The Dolphins plus 200. The Jets plus 300. And then the Patriots sit all the way down here in fourth, way down in fourth. Again, the Jets plus 300. The Patriots plus 2,000. How does that work? Or more importantly, how does this next part work? The over-unders for the win total, according to Vegas in the AFC East. Buffalo, 11.5. Dolphins, 8.5. The Jets, 5.5. That's a big, that's a 3-win difference between plus 200 and plus 300. And then you get to the Patriots at plus 2,000 odds with an over-under of 7.5 wins. Vegas is giving the Patriots 2 more wins than the Jets. Yet the Jets are at plus 300. The Patriots are at plus 2,000. What? I'm no huge gambler, and I'm no huge math nut. I don't know how that works out. I don't know how that's that big a discrepancy. By the way, the last team in the AFC East to win it with more than plus 200 odds was the Dolphins back in 2008 at plus 2,500. Just worse than the Patriots this year. If we are to believe what Burt Breer says, and the Dolphins are in something of a rebuild mode here, or at least kickstarting their rebuild, and could potentially be getting rid of, the best player on their team, Tyreek Hill, and are replacing a bunch of guys from last year, then there's no reason the Patriots can't slot into second place in this division. There's really not. And again, I don't want to be one of those guys that gets caught up and starts talking about 12 wins. I don't think that's going to be there. I think second place in this division is 9-8. And if you're someone who is sitting like, no, the Dolphins over on the 8.5 wins, second place in this division, well ahead of the Patriots, there's just a lot of you think about how many things need to be answered for the Patriots in order for them to be a good team, right? That offensive line needs to take a major step. Steph Diggs needs to be healthy. Drake May needs to take a step. Those defensive pieces need to come together for it to be a top 10 defense. Like, all those things still need to be answered. But when you look at the Miami thing, and you want Miami to be a 9 or 10 win team, comfortably second place in this division, they've got to answer a lot of questions as well that they really haven't answered over the last few years. They need Tua to carry them, right? That hasn't been answered. They need to win on the road. That's been answered in a bad way for Miami. They need to bolster their offensive line, much like the Patriots do. I don't think that's been answered. They need to make decisions on their long-term future and how it's going to affect this short term, a.k.a. guys like Tyreek Hill. Those haven't been answered. So as much as the Patriots have a ton of questions, Miami has probably just as many. They haven't been terrible the last few years, but have they underachieved? Of course they have. Definitely they have. And again, the biggest offseason move that the Patriots made, I think far and away, was bringing in Mike Vrabel. I think that's the guy that changes a lot of things for the Patriots. I don't have any exact formula as to how this happens, but I think bringing in a guy like Mike Vrabel, looking at the team you had last year, that's adding a win or two. At least. I mean, again, we had the damning quotes. I think it was Kendrick Bourne who said it, of like, we didn't even know what the game plan was last year. We were just kind of guessing Friday, Saturday, guessing what the game plan was against this team who were playing on Sunday. That was the Gerard Mayo experience. Mike Vrabel, maybe I'm expecting too much of him. I think Mike Vrabel's going to have a game plan. Okay? I think Mike Vrabel's going to know how he wants to attack other NFL teams. All right? I think Mike Vrabel He's going to get people on the same page. I think he knows how to manage a clock as well. And I don't think he's going to keep passing the buck. Gerard Mayo did all those things. Mike Vrabel, just alone by himself, added to this Patriots team, adds a couple wins to your schedule. So maybe I am drinking the Kool-Aid too much. I was sitting here thinking I was being realistic about this. 9, 10 wins, maybe 10 wins. Like really optimistic 10 wins. Maybe I am drinking the Kool-Aid because I do think they're going to have a better season than the Jets. What have the Jets done for me to think, oh yeah, no, this is the year. They'll be good. They'll win 11 games. Like, what have they done for me to say that? What have they done for anybody to say that? Oh, they got much more talent, the Patriots. Sure shit, they did last year. They lost to the Patriots. They had just as many wins. Okay, great. You subtracted a Hall of Fame quarterback who, of course, was not on top of his game last year. But you have the same amount of talent. You just subtract the Hall of Fame quarterback and bring in a first-round bust. Okay, yeah, sure. This is the year then. Pick the Jets, sure. Miami, Tua, doesn't play a full season, and now he's got to carry a team. He's got less weapons than he's ever had, especially if Tyreek Hill goes, which has been a rumor all offseason, by the way. This was not just Burt Breer just throwing that out there and seeing if it sticks on June 12th. That's been a rumor all offseason long. So, yeah, sure, if all those things fall into place like they never have before, then, yeah, Miami will probably be a 10-win team, 11-win team. But the reality is this. They don't often do that. Tua does not stay healthy for a full season. The Jets don't live up to expectations when they're expected to be good. And suddenly the Patriots are in a pretty decent position. They're not Buffalo, but shit, man, you take one of those games against Buffalo, like you've split the last 2 years. People forget. Really wish they didn't last year. But if you split that series against Buffalo, you're probably in the picture in December. And again, I feel I'm being optimistic at 9 or 10 wins, but I don't think it's crazy to think with this schedule that the Patriots have and this new coach and the franchise quarterback that you have, they should be in that 9 or 10 win discussion. And they absolutely should be in a wild card discussion by December when the games really start to matter. Like they should be in this. So if we're to believe an NFL insider here, and the Dolphins are slowly, silently going into a rebuild, that really opens the door for the Patriots, I think, a lot quicker than a lot of people thought. So it's fun to just be like, oh, yeah, well, they got Drake May, and he was really good. But when we look at this analytically from the rest of the division, they're going to need to grow up pretty fast here because they can absolutely be in this race come Thanksgiving and then early December where, Belichick used to say, it's where it all starts, baby. It's where it all starts. And again, maybe it's me being naive. I'm buying into what Vrabel's doing so far. I think he is establishing a culture. I think he is establishing accountability. And I think you're going to see some major moves, roster moves, like shocking roster moves at the end of training camp. Javon Baker, man, guy they were so high on last year. Like, he didn't have a single catch in minicamp. I don't know how the fuck that's possible. Like, they're playing catch out there. It's like 7-on-7 in high school. And he didn't have a single catch. He's a wide receiver. He didn't have a catch. His ass is going to get cut. And you look down the line, another receiver they drafted last year, Jalen Polk. Second round pick, second pick of the second round in 2024. You think that kid's going to have some rope? I don't know if he will under Mike Vrabel. If he has another shit preseason, he's gone. He's done. And that's the thing that I think is different about this team more than anything is I think Vrabel is not afraid to make those moves. That's, again, where Vrabel taps into the Belichick. He's not a Belichick guy. He's not a Belichick disciple. He played for him, but he never coached under him. He coached under a bunch of other guys not named Bill Belichick. But where he does bring in the Belichick that you want is that accountability, the way he can talk to and coach players and not take any shit. That's what the Patriots need right now after what we've seen the last 2 years. They need a guy who won't take any shit and can get guys to play for him. And I think Vrabel can do that. And as Keon White so now famously said, Now we have a coach. Let me know what you guys think. Can the Patriots make a real push in the AFC East? Are they better than Miami? They don't beat Miami ever, but are they better than the Dolphins this year? Let me know in the comment section below. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're optimistic about this Patriots season. We'll come at you live every weekday, live at high noon Eastern time, and then wherever you get your podcasts. I'm your host, Cam Stuart. Zach Burke keeps us on the air. Check out the other YouTube videos on the channel, talking about Patriots and everything else Boston sports, because that's all we're doing every single weekday.